Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our First Parish Northborough online worship service. I want to extend a warm welcome to anyone who's joining us for the first time, and a special hello to the folks visiting us today from Unitarian Church of Marlborough and Hudson. Welcome, friends. I'm inviting everyone to stay in gallery view for a few moments as we do a special online greeting that we've come to call the Brady Bunch greeting. So if everyone will switch to gallery view or stay on gallery view for a moment, we will turn to the people around us and wave as a sign of graceful greetings today. Don't forget the folks above and below you, beside you. Greetings, friends. It's so good to be here together as we begin our service by virtually lighting our chalice.
Our chalice lighting this morning is Fearful Joy by Rabindranath Tagore. Is it beyond thee to be glad with the gladness of this rhythm, to be tossed and lost and broken in the whirl of this fearful joy? All things rush on, they stop not, they look not behind, no power can hold them back. They rush on, keeping step with that restless, rapid music. Seasons come dancing and pass away. Colors, tunes, and perfumes pour in endless cascades in the abounding joy that scatters and gives up and dies every moment.
Throughout the month of April, First Parish has used the worship theme, Dare to Dance Again. And so I invite you now to settle in, get comfortable, feel your feet on the ground and the good air in your lungs, and take a step through the threshold into sacred space, right here on Zoom together. We each have a dance. We are all participants in life's sacred dance of living and dying. We all have a rhythm, a drumbeat in our heart that we long to follow. Today, we dare to dance our own dance. Dare to dance with dreamers, sing their song. Dare to dance their stories, sing out strong. Dare to dance with freedom your whole life long. Dare to dance again. Whether we dance on our feet or in a chair, with our tapping fingers and toes, or in our hearts, our dance is our affirmation that joy exists and our expression of who we are. The world needs your dance. We need your precious, one-of-a-kind way of moving through the world. Dare to dance with dreamers, sing their song. Dare to dance their stories, sing out strong. Dare to dance with freedom your whole life long. Dare to dance again. May we dare to let go and dance with renewed vigor as we allow the warmth of hope to fill our bodies and souls. Lift up your head to meet the day. Get ready for life is all around. Fortify your hearts with compassion and action. And if rain still lingers, open the umbrellas of hope and set out anyway, for we are called to dance again. Our story for the generations this morning was written by Denise Tracy, and it's the story of the beginnings of Tai Chi. Tai Chi is a form of gentle meditative exercise that generally people do together. So here's the story of how that began. There was a young man who grew up in China, and everyone said he was so calm and peaceful he should become a monk. Not wanting to displease his family and friends by telling the truth, the young man let them think he was indeed peaceful and calm. Inside, however, the young man was filled with feelings of doubt and joy and love and happiness and sadness and many questions. Because he wanted others' approval, he kept his feelings and questions to himself. He went on looking calm and peaceful to everyone. When he was old enough, he entered the monastery because everyone said he looked so peaceful and calm. They did not know of his secret inner life. Everyone was pleased because they felt he would be a great monk. For years, he practiced sitting calmly and peacefully, and his masters were pleased. Little did they know that behind that calm exterior bubbled energy, exuberance, and still more questions. The young man kept all these things to himself. After years at the monastery, the young man was to be tested for his deep inner religious peace. He was to go to a mountaintop to meditate daily for many months, and on a final day, the master would observe his meditation. So he went to the mountains for many days. He sat and sat and sat. He looked very calm and peaceful on the outside, but on the inside, his mind was filled with the crane's flight, fire and shadows, and the earth's elements, as well as questions of beginnings and endings. He did not tell anyone of the scenes and questions that filled his mind. One day, as he was sitting at the top of the mountain, peacefully pretending to be calm, meditating, and preparing for the day of his exam, which was only 2 weeks away, a fly landed right on the end of his nose. He tried wiggling his nose to get the fly off. This did not work. He wiggled his nose again. What a stubborn fly. Next, he waved his hand and the fly danced. As he waved his hand, he discovered how joyful it felt to move. The fly then landed on his nose again. The young man waved his other hand. This too felt wonderful. The fly began to turn circles and move with the wind and the earth. The young monk leaped and laughed, dancing with the fly. As the days passed, the young man looked forward to his dancing and moving with the fly. He lost all track of time, hours, days, or minutes. He knew only the joy of moving in harmony with the elements: earth, water, fire, wood, wind, and metal. The young man went to the top of the mountain on the day of his exam, but he had forgotten that this was the most important day. He saw the fly, and they began their dance together: earth, water, fire, wood, wind, metal. They focused energy and moved with great joy. Neither the fly nor the young man noticed the master of masters seated, watching their movements. After a while, the master of masters approached. The young man grew silent, embarrassed, and fearful. He was supposed to be calm and meditative. He looked down in shame. He had failed his training. The master of masters then said, "Young man, you must teach me this movement. You use the energy of the life force to mirror the earth, fire, wind, sky, birds, and water. This focused energy complements our study of inner peace. Since all is in balance, we need stillness and energy. We need peace and activity. We need meditation and movement. Teach me. Then you will teach all the monks this new miracle of focused energy. So, from one young man whose creativity spilled over to dance with a fly came a meditation of movement called Tai Chi. This is our music director, Olga's Sunday off for this month. And so our hymn this morning is a recording taken from a growing library of UU hymns and music made available by the UUA for congregations to use when they are needed. And so I invite you this morning to sing along, if you wish, with muted microphones, our opening hymn, Let It Be a Dance.
Let it be a dance we do. May I have this dance with you through the good times and the bad times too. Let it be a dance. Let a dancing song be heard. Play the music, say the word, and fill the sky with sailing birds. Let it be a dance, let it be a dance, let it be a dance. Learn to follow, learn to lead. Feel the rhythm, feel the need. To reap the harvest, plant the seed. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance we do. May I have this dance with you through the good times and the bad times too. Let it be a dance. Everybody turn and spin. Let your body learn to bend. And like a willow with the wind, let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. A child is born, the old must die. A time for joy, a time to cry. Take it as it passes by. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance we do. May I have this dance with you through the good times and the bad times too. Let it be a dance. Morning star comes out at night. Without the dark there is no light. If nothing's wrong, then nothing's right. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. Let the sunshine, let it rain. Share the laughter, bear the pain. And round we go again. Let it be a dance.
And I have a special announcement this morning. Some time ago, the minister of Unitarian Church of Marlborough and Hudson, Reverend Alice, began talking with me about opening up a conversation between our two congregations. UCMH is looking at possible solutions to its financial challenges, a challenge faced by many similar congregations in this day of declining church attendance, economic downturn, competing Sunday morning programming, and of course, right now, closed worship spaces for COVID. They have asked us if we would be willing to join with them in a conversation as they walk this path and explore a range of possibilities, which might include mutual cooperation, sharing of resources, or merging into one congregation. This is the very beginning of a conversation. The First Parish Board and I feel this could be a wonderfully fruitful conversation to participate in. Because we are at the very beginning of the conversation, there is a lot we don't know, which can be a very uncomfortable place to be, but it can also be an exciting place. I wonder what gifts and resources we might discover, what new ideas we might come up with together, what new thing we might participate in birthing. Now, it's all up to us, individually and together, as we assess possibilities, make decisions, and possibly experiment together. I want to repeat, this is the beginning of a conversation, and no decisions have been made. There's a lot we don't know, but what I do know is that we are UUs. We will always strive to engage with each other in a manner that is about living our values, living love and justice and inclusion, no matter what else may be going on. And so we are opening the discussion today, not during the service, but in our breakout rooms and our joint space after breakout rooms for anyone who would like to stay and either greet each other and get to know each other or talk about possibilities. Our reading this morning is a poem by Aurora Levins Morales titled Vahafta.
Say these words when you lie down and when you rise up, when you go out and when you return, in times of mourning and in times of joy. Inscribe them on your doorposts, embroider them on your garments, tattoo them on your shoulders, teach them to your children, your neighbors, your enemies. Recite them in your sleep here in the cruel shadow of empire. Another world is possible. Thus spoke the prophet Roque d'Alton. Altogether they have more death than we, but altogether we have more life than they. There is more bloody death in their hands than we could ever wield, unless we lay down our souls to become them, and then we will lose everything. So instead, imagine winning. This is your sacred task. This is your power. Imagine every detail of winning, the exact smell of the summer streets in which no one has been shot, the muscles you have never unclenched from worry, gone soft as newborn skin. The sparkling taste of food when we know that no one on earth is hungry, that the beggars are fed, that the old man under the bridge and the woman wrapping herself in thin sheets in the back of a car, and the children who suck on stones nest under a flock of roofs that keep multiplying their shelter. Lean with all your being towards that day when the poor of the world shake down a rain of good fortune out of the heavy clouds, and justice rolls down like waters. Defend the world in which we win as if it were your child. It is your child. Defend it as if it were your lover. It is your lover. When you inhale and when you exhale, breathe the possibility of another world into the 37.2 trillion cells of your body until it shines with hope. Then imagine more. Imagine rape is unimaginable. Imagine war is scarcely a credible rumor, that the crimes of our age, the grotesque inhumanities of greed, the sheer and astounding shamelessness of it, the vast fortunes made by stealing lives, the horrible normalcy it came to have is unimaginable to our heirs, the generations of the free. Don't waver. Don't let despair sink its sharp teeth into the throat with which you sing. Escalate your dreams. Make them burn so fiercely that you can follow them down any dark alleyway of history and not lose your way. Make them burn clear as a starry drinking gourd over the grim fog of exhaustion, and keep walking. Hold hands, share water, keep imagining, so that we and the children of our children's children may live.
Thank you, everyone who shared this morning. I just wanted to mention something that somebody put into the chat. There's a possibility that some of those high winds that had really high gusts were responsible for some of that damage, but we'll hope that's what it was. We're thankful for the blessing of being together in community, of sharing our burdens and amplifying our joys together. And as we hold all of these things in our hearts, we'll sing together, Draw the Circle Wide. Now, if you will, I invite you to join me for a moment of lifting up our intentions in prayer. Voice still and small. Give us the courage and clarity to look at our own communities and understand how they and we are caught up in dynamics that are not life-giving. Voice of gentlest love and fiercest unity. Stir in us the direct experience of our interconnectedness with one another and with all, and kindle in us the vision and determination to act from that kinship. Sing through us, dance through us, so that as trauma continues to cycle down generations and ripple through communities, we find ways to be part of the healing right here, right now. Let our voices join in the great chorus of those seeking a new way of love. So may it be. Amen.
We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle around to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle around to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love.
When I was going to seminary, I had a really energetic teacher for my UU history class. Reverend Dr. Nicole Kirk looks a lot like Bette Midler. Our intensives were Monday through Friday from 9 to 5 for each class for 1 week. That is a long time to sit, especially in the windowless classroom we had been assigned to. Nicole thought up of all kinds of ways to make it more fun. One day we went into the classroom. We were going to study the doctrine of original sin, and when we walked in, she had a sperm with devil horns on it on the board. She had us get together in groups and bring historical characters to life by writing and acting out little skits. And the best thing of all, at the end of each day, dance party. We would get up, and for 10 minutes, she'd put on the jazzy music and we would dance it out. You know, as humans, we are dancers. For millennia, humans have danced together. We dance for the joy of it in parades and saturnalias and winter revels, in square dances and music concerts. We dance for exercise, like Zumba, for balance, like Tai Chi, to express ourselves, breakdancing, to celebrate, Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, to let off steam, Mardi Gras comes to mind. Sometimes we break into spontaneous dances of joy and celebration when we hear great news. A friend of mine was at a conference in Philadelphia when their baseball team won the World Series. Spontaneous dancing and hugging at the bar, and later that night from her hotel room, she could hear singing and laughter and cars honking until the wee hours of the morning. In her book, Dancing in the Streets, cultural historian Barbara Ehrenreich explores the human desire for collective joy, historically expressed in ecstatic revels of feasting, costuming, and dancing. Communal celebration raises people's spirits, expresses emotion and individuality, bonds groups together, and reminds us that we are part of a greater whole. Generally, we think of dancing as something of a happy pastime. We dance together for joy, yes, but we also dance together for justice. From the Freedom March in Selma to the Women's March in Washington, from Black Lives Matter demonstrations to climate change, we come together to sing, march, roll, and move together in the dance of the people, in peaceful assembly, drawing attention to how many of us want justice, peace, and real representation in the seat of government. These marches and demonstrations are, in essence, celebrations, celebrating the power of people coming together to affirm a vision of a better world and to build energy for making that vision a reality. Celebrating as a group bestows a sense of belonging, something crucial to human fulfillment. From birthdays to funerals, there's no end to the celebrations of who we are, where we came from, what we've done, what we worship, and even who or what we have lost. It reminds us that we are part of a group, a common humanity that is interdependent in ways we cannot ignore. Let it be a dance we do. May I have this dance with you? Of course, COVID has brought about some changes in the ways we dance together. We've had to curtail a lot of our physical togetherness due to safety precautions. And yet, looking back over the past year, I'm amazed at the many ways people have found to come together in celebration. Despite the constraints and adaptations we have to deal with, we have still been daring to dance our dances with hope and passion. This service is a perfect example of one of the ways we have found to come together in joy and sorrow, in concern and celebration. And I say this with full understanding that online gatherings leave some of our beloveds out. At the same time, we have found ways in which online worship has allowed others to join us who otherwise would not be able to. One of the learnings from this COVID time is that no matter how or where or when we gather, there will be some who cannot join us. That's why our UUA is holding webinars and providing resources as faith communities across the country figure out how to widen our circle of concern by exploring hybrid worship as we make plans to reopen safely in physical spaces. Sunday worship is not the only way we have danced in community this past year. We have held online men's and women's groups, book discussions, and meetings. We have raised money through online pledge campaigns and silent auctions, and even one live online auction that I know of. We have wrestled as congregations with big issues and weighty decisions. As citizens, we have continued to side with love, to dance on the side of love as we have joined with other folks to pull on that arc of justice. We have signed petitions and sent postcards and turned out the vote in unprecedented numbers. Some have showed up in the streets for vigils, demonstrations, rallies, protests, counter-protests. And we have seen expressions of great relief and gladness, such as when people broke into a spontaneous, joyful demonstration in the street in front of the courthouse after the Derek Chauvin verdict was announced, celebrating both a historic bit of justice for George Floyd and the determination to keep working for accountability and police reform. What a time to be alive. Can you feel the winds of change? More and more people are calling for a different dance, a communal, civic dance of interdependence, of respect for individual and cultural expression, of recognizing the worth and dignity of each person, of insisting on basic human rights for all. Could it be that we are turning from a hierarchical model of privilege and greed toward the life-living quest of figuring out how we can live together in loving, equitable, just relationship with each other? Let us circle round to tend these fires, to sow and reap the seeds of change from deep within the earth. Let us celebrate often and with great gusto. Let us dance together the dances of love and compassion, of freedom and justice, of commitment and community. Let us dance when we are glad of heart, when we are afraid, when we mourn, when we long to be reminded that we are not alone in our dreams and in our vision of a more just and sustainable world. Let us wholeheartedly join the dance when we eat or worship or march for justice, when we rejoice, when we deliberate, when we talk or email or text or call or Zoom, when we walk or sit or ride, when we cry, when we laugh, even when we meditate or pray. Let us remember that we are part of the great dance of life, from atoms to galaxies. Let us dare to dance. Our meditation this morning is a delightful video I found in an online article called "Nimble Nuns at Enclosed Monastery Perform Viral Dance to Cheer People Up." 13 Redemptoristine nuns and others connected with the County Dublin Monastery performed the Jerusalem Dance Challenge in a joyous video that now has 10,000s of views on social media. One of the nuns told the reporter that they consider the dance a form of prayer for our world in changing times. So let's take a few moments and enjoy their joyful, prayerful celebration of life and hope.
Jerusalem, ikayalami,
ilondoloze uhambe nami zungangishilana Jerusalema ikhaya lami ilondoloze uhambe nami zungangishilana dawo yami ayikholana buso wami awukholana ilondoloze zuhambe nami dawo yami ayikholana buso wami awukholana ilondoloze zuhambe nami ilondoloze 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 zungangishilana ilondoloze 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 zungangishilana dawo yami ayikholana buso wami awukholana ilondoloze zuhambe nami dawo yami ayikholana buso wami awukholana ilondoloze zuhambe nami Jerusalema ikhaya lami ilondoloze uhambe nami zungangishilana Jerusalema ikhaya lami ilondoloze uhambe nami zungangishilana dawo yami ayikholana buso wami awukholana ilondoloze zuhambe nami ilondoloze 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 zungangishilana ilondoloze 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 zungangishilana
Before our closing words, I'd like to make sure everyone knows that they're invited to stay for our joint virtual coffee hour after the service. We'll do some in some hopefully mixed up congregational breakup rooms and come back together at the end for our final goodbyes this morning. I also want to mention that because of the joint worship services that we're having next month, we have a couple of things we're requesting that people might be able to help with. One is we're doing an anthem video with pictures from both of the congregations. And so now Lynda Clark has a lot of the Northborough pictures. Alice has some, but if you would like your picture included, you can go ahead and send your pictures to your minister or to Lynda Clark. and she's putting this together, and this will also go into both emails from both churches. So and the other thing we're going to need is, we're hoping to do some live chalice lightings from our sanctuary, like they do in Marlboro Hudson. And so that will mean we'll need 2 people for each Sunday, one to light the chalice and say the words, and one to record on their phone, because we don't have adequate Wi-Fi to broadcast from our sanctuary yet. Thank you, everyone, for coming this morning. I leave you with these words. Joy can be a healing balm in hard times. We will dare to dance with grace, committing acts of justice and love that defy the gravity of despair. Though we may not be sure where we are going, let us go forth dancing together. The poet Rumi invites us with these words: dance when you're broken open, dance if you've torn the bandage off, dance in the middle of the fighting, dance in your blood, dance when you are perfectly free. May it be so as we go in peace, and may the spirit of the earth, spirit of life, and dancing spirit fill you with all you need for the days ahead. Amen and blessed be.
We are going, heaven knows where we are going, but we know within, and we will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. It will be hard, we know, and the road will be muddy and rough, but we'll get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. Why-ya-ya, 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 why-ya-ya. We are going, heaven knows where we are going, but we know within, and we will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. Why-ya-ya, 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 why-ya-ya.
It's always so good to gather with you, beloveds. Half of our offering today will go to the organization Earth Justice.